While everyone knows Patrick Stewart as Captain Picard and Professor X, his filmography spans decades of remarkable performances that showcase one of Britain's finest actors beyond the franchises that made him famous. 10. Safe House, 1998.
You motherfuckers are gonna kill all my lilies! Bullshit! Beluga!
This Showtime original thriller, made for just $3 million, gave Patrick Stewart one of his meatiest dramatic roles outside science fiction. Playing Mace Sowell, a retired DIA agent forced out of hiding when his cover is blown, Stewart delivers a performance that's both vulnerable and dangerous. The film follows Mace as he protects a young woman whose father was killed by the same people hunting him. What makes Safe House special is Stewart's portrayal of a man haunted by his past. Unlike the noble Picard or compassionate Xavier, Mace is morally ambiguous, capable of both tenderness and brutal violence. Stewart brings layers of regret and determination to the role, showing how decades of covert operations have scarred his character's soul. Director Eric Steven Stahl wisely keeps the focus intimate, allowing Stewart to carry the film through quiet moments of reflection and explosive action sequences. The film earned a limited theatrical release due to Stewart's compelling performance, proving he could anchor a thriller without the comfort of familiar franchises. It's a hidden gem that showcases Stewart's range as a dramatic actor. 9. Conspiracy Theory, 1997.
The whole Vietnam War was fought over a bet that Howard Hughes lost to Aristotle Onassis.
In this peak 90s paranoia thriller starring Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts, Stewart delivers one of his most chilling, villainous performances as Dr. Jonas, a CIA psychiatrist conducting illegal mind control experiments. With a $75 million budget and $136.9 million worldwide gross, the film was a commercial success. But Stewart's supporting role often gets overshadowed by the leads. Stewart's Dr. Jonas is terrifyingly calm and methodical, a man who views human beings as test subjects for his psychological experiments. What makes the performance so effective is how Stewart uses his natural authority and trustworthiness against the audience. His scenes with Gibson's paranoid Jerry Fletcher crackle with tension as Jonas attempts to unlock suppressed memories through torture disguised as therapy. The role allowed Stewart to explore his darker impulses while maintaining the intellectual sophistication that defines his best work. His clipped, precise delivery makes every line feel like a scalpel cutting into his victim's psyche. While the film's conspiracy plot feels dated, Stewart's performance remains genuinely unsettling, proving he could be just as compelling as a villain as he was playing heroes. 8. Masterminds, 1997.
Good morning, children. Today is a very special day.
This family action comedy, made for just $3 million, finds Stewart in rare comedic territory as Rafe Bentley, a security expert who must stop teenage hackers from robbing his impenetrable vault. While the film received limited theatrical release, it showcases Stewart's underrated comedic timing and willingness to embrace physical comedy. Stewart's performance balances competence with comedic frustration, as his sophisticated security systems are outwitted by resourceful teenagers. He brings his classical training to bear on what could have been a throwaway role, finding genuine character moments amid the action sequences. The film allows him to be both authoritative and vulnerable, especially in scenes where his character's pride is wounded by being outsmarted. What makes Masterminds notable is how Stewart commits fully to the material, never talking down to the family audience or phoning in his performance. He engages in physical comedy, chase sequences, and even some surprisingly athletic moments. While the film itself is lightweight entertainment, Stewart's professionalism and natural charisma elevate every scene he's in, proving he could handle leading roles in genres far from his comfort zone. 7. A Christmas Carol, 1999.
Damn you, Merry Christmas. What reason have you to be merry?
Time for good, not a time for profit.
Nephew, you keep Christmas in your way. Let me keep it in mine.
This TNT television adaptation of Stewart's acclaimed one-man stage show represents a unique achievement in his filmography. With an $8 million budget, the film captures Stewart's tour de force theatrical performance where he plays Scrooge, the narrator, and suggests multiple other characters through masterful voice work and physical transformation. Stewart Scrooge is neither the cartoonish miser nor the melodramatic villain of other adaptations. Instead, he presents a man genuinely transformed by bitterness and isolation, making his eventual redemption feel earned rather than inevitable. His performance spans the full emotional spectrum, from Scrooge's initial cruelty to his final joy, with each transition feeling authentic and deeply felt. The film's minimal production design keeps focus squarely on Stewart's performance, allowing viewers to experience the intimacy of his stage show. His ability to differentiate characters through subtle vocal and physical changes demonstrates the classical training that underlies all his work. Director David Hugh Jones wisely keeps the camera close, capturing every nuance of Stewart's face and voice. This version of A Christmas Carol stands as one of the finest screen adaptations of Dickens's story, powered entirely by Stewart's theatrical mastery. 6. Star Trek: Insurrection, 1998.
Participating in the outright theft of a world.
They were never meant to be immortal. Who the hell are we to determine the next course of evolution for this people?
The third next-generation film, with a $58 million budget and $112.6 million worldwide gross, represents Stewart's most romantic and action-heavy portrayal of Captain Picard. Often dismissed as the weakest Trek film, Insurrection actually contains some of Stewart's most nuanced work in the role, exploring themes of aging, mortality, and moral compromise. The film's fountain of youth premise allows Stewart to explore a more youthful, passionate version of Picard. His romantic subplot with Donna Murphy's Aneej showcases a side of the character rarely seen in the series, while his moral conflict over Starfleet's actions provides Stewart with substantial dramatic material. He brings gravitas to what could have been silly science fiction concepts. As producer, Stewart had significant creative input, and his influence shows in the film's character-driven approach. His action sequences are more physical than previous Trek films, while his dramatic scenes explore Picard's humanity with unusual depth. The film's environmental themes and moral complexity reflect Stewart's own values, making this perhaps his most personal Star Trek performance. While commercially disappointing, Insurrection showcases Stewart's complete mastery of the Picard character and his ability to find new depths in familiar material. 5. The Prince of Egypt, 1998.
Second born, second place!
Not for long!
DreamWorks' animated biblical epic, with a $70 million budget and $218.6 million worldwide gross, featured Stewart as Pharaoh Seti, Moses' adoptive father. This voice performance demonstrates Stewart's ability to bring depth and complexity to animated characters, creating one of the film's most memorable figures despite limited screen time. Stewart Seti is neither hero nor villain, but a complex patriarch torn between love for his adoptive son and loyalty to his empire. His voice work captures the character's regal bearing while revealing the man beneath the crown. The film's most powerful moments come from Seti's interactions with Moses, where Stewart's performance conveys decades of paternal love and political burden. What makes Stewart's performance exceptional is how he uses his voice to create a fully realized character. His delivery of Seti's final scene, where he acknowledges Moses' true identity while refusing to free the Hebrew slaves, is heartbreaking in its complexity. Stewart brings Shakespearean weight to an animated character, proving that voice acting requires just as much skill as live performance. His work in The Prince of Egypt remains one of animation's finest vocal performances, adding emotional depth to an already powerful story. Number 4. Lifeboat, 1993. This Showtime television movie, with a modest $4 million budget, adapts the 1944 Alfred Hitchcock classic as a tense psychological drama. Stewart plays Kovac, a cynical journalist among survivors stranded on a lifeboat after their ship is torpedoed. The confined setting and minimal cast allow Stewart to demonstrate his theatrical training in what's essentially a filmed stage play. Stewart's Kovac is bitter and manipulative, a man whose wartime experiences have stripped away his idealism. He brings complexity to what could have been a stock character, showing how trauma can corrupt even well-intentioned people. His interactions with the other survivors reveal different facets of his personality, from protective to predatory, as the group's civilization veneer begins to crack. The film's single location forces Stewart to rely entirely on his acting skills rather than production values or action sequences. His performance anchors the psychological tension as the survivors face difficult moral choices about survival and justice. Director David Hugh Jones keeps the focus intimate, allowing Stewart's face to tell the story of a man pushed to his limits. While the film received limited attention, it showcases Stewart's ability to carry a drama through pure character work, proving his range extends far beyond science fiction franchises. Number 2, Hamlet, 2009.
That is the question.
This BBC television adaptation of the Royal Shakespeare Company production, filmed with a modest budget for the Stratford-upon-Avon stage, features Stewart in the dual role of Claudius and the ghost of Hamlet's father. At 69, Stewart brought decades of Shakespearean experience to this critically acclaimed production that aired on both sides of the Atlantic. Stewart's performance as Claudius is a masterclass in controlled villainy, presenting the usurper king as a smooth politician whose guilt manifests in subtle physical tells. His ghost is ethereal yet commanding, delivering the play's exposition with supernatural authority. The dual casting creates thematic resonance as Stewart embodies both victim and victimizer, father and father figure. David Tennant's energetic Hamlet provides perfect contrast to Stewart's measured performances, creating dynamic scenes crackling with generational tension. Stewart uses his classical training to find fresh interpretations in familiar text, making Claudius more complex than typical villainous portrayals. The BBC's cameras capture theatrical intimacy while preserving the play's stage energy. Critics praised Stewart's work as among the finest Shakespearean performances on film, demonstrating that his theatrical roots remain his greatest strength. This production proves that Stewart's legacy extends far beyond popular entertainment into the highest levels of classical drama. Number 1, The Captain, 2017.
Freitag meldet sich zur Stelle, Herr Hauptmann. Bitte gehorsamst mich, Herrn Hauptmann unterstellen zu dürfen.
This independent psychological thriller, made for under $2 million, showcases Stewart's most understated and terrifying performance as a retired sea captain who kidnaps his former first mate's family. The film's limited release meant few discovered Stewart's career-best work in this chilling character study. Stewart's captain plays against every heroic expectation audiences have of the actor. He creates a character whose naval authority masks deep psychological damage, using his natural command presence to manipulate and control his victims. The performance is all quiet menace and psychological warfare, showing how institutional power can corrupt absolutely when unchecked by moral constraints. What makes the performance extraordinary is Stewart's commitment to the character's twisted logic. He never plays the captain as cartoonishly evil, but as a man convinced of his own righteousness, making him far more disturbing than any theatrical villain. His scenes with the captured family showcase masterful psychological manipulation, as he uses kindness and cruelty in equal measure to break down their resistance. The film's confined setting allows Stewart to demonstrate his theatrical training while exploring the darkest corners of human nature. Critics who saw the film universally praised his fearless performance, calling it his most challenging and successful work outside major franchises. From Shakespearean stages to superhero franchises, Patrick Stewart's filmography reveals an actor unafraid to challenge himself and subvert expectations. His dedication to craft elevates every project, proving that true greatness lies in versatility. Which performance will you discover next? Subscribe for more deep dives.